It is a beautiful fall day and I am out for a hike at Mountain Creek Park on the west side of Lake Norman. My first visit to this park. They have a lot going on here. There's 20 miles of trails. You can fish or launch your boat into the lake. They have an awesome playground. I love it when they still have the wood structures. So there's definitely a big group of kids playing on there. They had a nice nature center. They had a sign out front. I thought it was so cool to stop in to pick up the Halloween or fall scavenger hunt. And as I'm walking on this first trail, I see different signs of what are probably clues or objects to find on the scavenger hunt. So, pretty fun idea. So this section is paved. Majority of it will not be, but it's a good start. It's cool. They have some access for anyone to get on the trails. So, beautiful day out. Hi. Much cooler temperatures today, and this is likely the last of our dry days for the next week. So, enjoying the opportunity to get out. Also saw that they had pickleball courts here and lots of mountain biking stuff here. So they have like skills course and trails for them. Some of these trails that we're walking on are going to be multi-use. Some are for hikers only, and then there are also some that are for bikes only. So good mix of stuff to come out here for. I'm going to take a peek down here at the kayak launch. Water level looks pretty low. Definitely nobody out kayaking today. But it's really awesome. They have such an easy access for it. Oh, that's neat. They have a ramp you can let it slide down on and stairs for you to walk on. I can hear squirrels running around out there. There's a little observation platform over there. I think there's a few of those around the park. Huh, pretty cool. It's very peaceful out here. It's fun to hear all the birds talking to each other. I was walking through the trees and then came out into this opening, and I can see my entry point to go back into the trees. Lots to see as I'm walking with all the colors and leaves starting to fall. The squirrels are definitely busy today collecting their food. I'm now on a hiking only trail, so I won't encounter any bikes, and I get to be on the dirt, so that's fun. I'll make a connection of trails to make a big loop today. This facility is huge. They have multiple bathrooms and parking areas, and they have a big dog park and picnic tables and stuff like that, and pavilions. You can see some bikers through there. Caden and Caleb are the reason we came up to this park today. They're out for a ride with mountain bike team. So it's funny because I had already looked at this park quite a while ago, maybe a year or more ago, and I always just look in to see what other trails I might want to go check out, and then I flag them and save them in different folders so I know for different areas to look. And when I looked up to see where their adventure ride was scheduled for today, and I looked through this area in my trails, this was already flagged. So I had been planning on coming and hadn't made it here yet. So it's a good day to make it happen. It's like this tree decided to make a bench for us, grow out horizontally and then up. I am not in the need for a break though, so I'll proceed. I did grab a map that they had at one of the map boards. The signs to tell you what trail you're on are phenomenal here so far that I've seen, but I don't know. I was connecting lots of different trails, and rather than having to keep looking at my phone, thought it'd be nice to be able to just keep it moving without the technology having to get turned on and off and dug out of my bag. I love just being out here walking, enjoying the peace and doing all the thinking or all the just relaxing, whatever I'm feeling at the moment. There are some spots with some really vibrant reds and oranges. And many spots we can peek out and see the water, but the level's pretty low right now. I always find it a little creepy when you can hear the electricity in the wires nearby. So the trail I'm on now is for anyone, open to anyone, multi-use, but it's also labeled as part of the Catawba Thread Trail, so Carolina Thread Trail. We're in Catawba County, I believe. That's a pretty big drop down there. It's pretty neat to see how so many trails can be together to take you across a long distance. The path through the leaves is quite a pretty sight. Very defined trail. I think this is considered like the main trail in the park. Somewhat of like a figure eight shape. There's a lot of fun names for these trails. And I was walking on Sunday Stroll, and there was one called Wampus Way. I just was on for a little bit, and Loblolly Loop. I'm expecting a lot of pines on that one. A lot of the trails have orange for the hiker's direction and blue for the biker's direction. And then they have, there's a good example of vibrant red. It's really pretty. They have some signs to tell you if you're going the wrong way as a hiker or biker. So it is usually a good idea to be going the opposite direction so you can see them coming. I've been appreciating the value of reflection lately. Self-reflection and reflection of situations or circumstances or people to better understand and prioritize what is most important. For myself this week, as I was really reflecting and trying to pay attention to what felt like crazy emotions flying all over the place, I was able to, in general, stay in control because I was attentive to it and was able to continue to remind myself about what was priority, what was important, and what I needed to actually be thinking about or not or thinking about. So I know I'm waiting for labs to get done to check all the levels because I know those are off right now. But to feel like, all right, I made it through this little bit without losing it or feeling out of control. It's such an awful feeling. It gives a sense of accomplishment and growth because that was not always the case. And I had a student come back to school this week that had been gone for weeks. She had been institutionalized because she had tried to commit suicide. And having her come back this week, she, needed different things than many of the other students needed this week. And the priorities with many of these kids anyway are not the academics. But you want that academic component. Some water down there, not moving. Some water though. Always want there to be the academic component so they can learn as much as they can, at least in whatever way is going to be applicable to them in their lives. But that mental and emotional health are so much a priority for them. So I loved that when I was sharing a little bit that just in general there was a challenge with making sure I had the balance of just still giving her the academic rigor and challenge and support, but not overwhelming her as she gets readjusted and is dealing with all the things that she's dealing with in life. I share briefly of things like this so that Caden can see that other people are dealing with challenges. And I was so excited that he was able to recognize that the academics are not really her priority right now. And he very bluntly said, I don't think you need to be worrying about her math with her right now. She just needs to have a safe place. And it just shows that he's really been learning so much and gives really good indicator that while he will likely or may change his direction for career path, right now he's passionate about mental health, and it shows really good insight and awareness that he's gaining from learning and studying, but also from his experiences. And being that safe place for her was my priority this week and for her. And she was able to come to my room every day for lunch, and it was a good time for her to be able to just chat and be available for the hugs. And when the panic attack came on Thursday, she left her other classroom and came flying in mine with tears all over, because she was so upset. And to be able to help her calm down, and for her to then be able to get back into things and feel valued and loved in the classroom, and not have to leave school because she was overwhelmed, was awesome. I felt like I fulfilled my purpose as her teacher this week. I was surprised by another student who is extremely quiet. You rarely hear much of anything from her, and she'll never volunteer an answer. So I will occasionally call on her and just encourage her that my idea for the classroom is that you never have to be right. We're not going to know the right answers, but we do all need to be trying. And so that's what she'll do. And sometimes the kids that do know the answer, help them out by shouting it out. So doesn't really encourage the thinking as much, but it gives them a little more confidence to say an answer. So important in the growth, I suppose. But she was out one day this week. There.
2 more to hang.
All right.
1 more.
All right. And then, so she was out on Tuesday, and then I ended up having to be out on Wednesday to go to a South Carolina State meeting for math. Have a good one. And so when I got back on Thursday morning and was standing at my door, she came down the hall, and I was shocked to hear her say, "I missed you." And it again made me feel like I'm doing my job for the kids, that someone so quiet would have that urge to say something, because she feels like she's in a good place when she's in my classroom. So that was encouraging for me as a teacher that can often feel like I'm in a very rough situation and unappreciated. Definitely undervalued, because every teacher is undervalued. But when I missed school on Wednesday for that meeting, I was they wanted me to go in for tutoring if I was able to get there in time, and I wasn't, so I didn't. But then when I got there to school on Thursday, the question from anybody that ever goes to tutoring is, "Where were you? And are you going to be there today?" And so as this week progressed, I realized the kids have kind of caught on, and I've caught on to them. A lot of them don't come to tutoring because they need help, or actually they need it, but they don't want the help, but they don't want to go home. And so teachers are all designated different subject areas, and the strong majority of the kids say they're coming for math. And some of them do, and they need real help, and I help them. So that's great, because that's what they need, the academic support. But for the rest of them, they're saying they need math help because they want to come and hang out in my room. And same thing at lunch, when I don't have lunch duty, they know they can come and hang out in my room. And so knowing that priority of a safe place and being a safe person for those kids definitely gives more purpose in a job where the academics are never going to be their strength. It's never going to be considered the best school in the state academically, but I can make an impact on those kids in the way that they truly need. So the tutoring kids had started, they had said we're going for math, but then they wouldn't actually do math. So the director of tutoring started splitting them up among other teachers. But this is where the kids have caught on now, and they know I really need help with my homework or whatever they're trying to understand, and they'll make things up. Because if it's actually math, they do get sent to my room because I'm the only math teacher for tutoring. And then I get in my room and I'm like, okay, so what is it you need help with? Oh no, I'm good. So they crack me up. So I haven't told the director that they had figured it out, but as long as they're letting the kids that actually want the academic support get the academic support, it's all good. It just becomes a crowded room. This Loblolly loop is a pretty large loop. I think it's about 3 miles. So it'll make up the largest portion of my hike today. But definitely, oh, that's pretty cool. It looks like curtains or something hanging down from the vine. Like beads or something you would have decoration hanging up. There are a lot of pines in this area though, so it is appropriately named. Ferns on the ground are always beautiful. It's pretty cool standing still. It sounds a little bit like it's raining, but it's the leaves coming down. I really appreciate the amount of reflection that Caleb and I do in our relationship. We both have had some challenging and abusive past situations, and so we both have experienced the bad and both desire the good, and so we're able to work together for that and acknowledge any sort of misunderstandings or challenges that come up as opportunities for us to learn and grow with each other and about each other. So recognizing that that's what's important through it, not being right or winning some sort of battle or anything, but stopping when there's a misunderstanding, say, okay, now wait a minute, what happened there? What's important is for us to get on the same page and understand each other and make changes if that's what needs to happen for next time, so there isn't a next time. So being able to talk about it and take the time to really think about the why for responses, or it might be more of a reaction, not really thought out as a response. It allows the space to reflect about what is happening in those moments, because in the moments we're not processing it, we're just dealing with what comes up or just what's natural. So being able to understand, that's why, or yeah, this is similar to something else, or I thought this, instead of now I understand your actual intention was something else. So it's so important when you're wanting to have a healthy strong relationship. I am so grateful for this beautiful day to be out here walking, just enjoying being outside, thinking, just observing, reflecting. So even if you don't have a beautiful day where you are, throw on some layers, grab an umbrella, spend a little time outside. And I'll see you next time on the trail with Heart.